We have a ton of like just general favorite of everything. So
Oh, okay.
we can do that next if you'd like.
Sure.
Um, do you have a favorite game?
Favorite game?
Yeah. I don't know
Uh,
if it's any certain kind of game. It's just favorite game.
so Scrabble? I mean, like, I don't play, I don't play a lot of games. Uh, oh, I'm trying to, oh, okay, so I don't know. This is occasionally on my blog, but maybe some people don't know it. But I had a stroke a few years ago, and that like before you get shocked and you're like, oh, that's so sad. It's fine, guys. I mean, like it's hard to go through, but when I was in recovery, one of the one of the sections is you learn how to spend like recreational time again, based on your ability to do something. And while I was in recovery during this time, I discovered a game called Quirkle, which is kind of like Scrabble but with shapes.
Oh.
Yeah, and my wife loved it because Scrabble is hard for her. But she says that, but she beats me every fucking time. Anyway, um, but so in Quirkle, you have to match. You so you have like six tiles that have six different shapes, and they either all have the same color, or you either match six shapes of the same color, or um, six of the same shape with different colors. So
Ooh.
you get a certain amount of points for that. Um, and it's called a quirkle, like when you get all six. Um, and so it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like Scrabble, but with shapes. Um, and that's one of my absolute favorite games to play because you can widen your range of who can play it. Because I have to, like I said, I'm a foster parent, so I have to figure out like what kind of games can you play with children and that kind of stuff. But that one's always fun, no matter what your age.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think my favorite game. I'm gonna answer this even though it's not for me. I think my favorite game currently is Uno because that's the game that my
No,
niece
that's a
is really
class.
into,
Class.
and my niece actually likes to play in teams, and she's always my
Oh,
team. She's always my teammate,
oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
and it's really funny because like her mom, and then our mom are like so competitive, and she'll be
Mhm.
like, "We're playing for fun."
She has to remind everyone
She
not to
has
get
to remind everyone to calm down, which I just think is cute. So it's like my favorite game right now.
I am also really really competitive, and this is one of the things that like shocked my wife. Because when I play on a team, I'm very much like a team member, team player. But if we are playing one on one, I am like ruthless. For the longest time, my wife was like, "I don't like playing games." And I was like, I love you. She's like, this is so confusing because you just told me that I was ridiculous and then like you were coming for me.
Oh no!
Yeah, it gets really
Oh,
intense.
that sounds amazing though. We're gonna have to play a game on an episode.
Oh my god, we should.
Oh, we have to now because I think it'd be too funny not to.
Yeah, probably. Please be
Um,
my friend afterwards.
I will. Don't worry. I have one friend who's so competitive. She was they were playing with my niece, and my niece was beating them, and it wasn't good. I was like, oh no. I'm like, okay, we gotta stop, you guys. Um, da 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 da. What is your favorite book?
Oh man, I mean like
It's a hard one,
I have so many. So many. I love to read.
and you can
Oh my
only
gosh.
pick one.
I love to read.
No, I'm sure you
I
could
think
like pick whatever you want.
I don't think that I can pick a favorite. Mm. Okay, can I pick tiers? Like, can I have categories?
Yes, it's
Okay.
our video. We can do whatever we want.
So my favorite book I've read this year so far is called The Priority of the Orange Tree. And, like, friends, it's got dragons. It's got a slow burn, like, freaking femme/romance. It's got brown people. It's got, political intrigue. It's got, like, a war to end all wars. It's got magic. It is literally my dream fantasy book. I was like, I read it and I was like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life, because I love fantasy as a genre, but it is too straight and it is too white. But this book is not that. So, yes, The Priority of the Orange Tree. You should look for a little, like, picture, and then you can, like, pop it up when you edit the video. Anyway,
I will.
So, yeah, so that is my favorite of that. My, favorite, young adult book is, I'd have to have categories in that, too. It's gonna take me too long. One of my favorites is Annie on My Mind, which my wife recently listened to after, like, having not reread it in a while, and cried about. It's a beautiful, like, coming out story, and it's really sweet. And it was very important to me. I think I read it in high school, and he was a senior in high school. And I'd just come out, and I felt like there were no books about me. And I had this English teacher, because don't we all have this English teacher who just, like, or a teacher maybe in a different subject, who was like, here, read these books. She gave me, like, 3 or 4 books. All had, like, gay people in it. And I was just like, what? There are books about people like me? So that book was very important to me.
The way you said that was really cute.
My favorite book, like my favorite classic book, would probably be Jane Eyre. I loved Jane Eyre, and I continue to love watching, like, different interpretations of it. There's a book on my to-read list that somebody wrote where Jane falls for the wife that's hidden in the attic by the Mr. Rochester instead of Mr. Rochester, and I'm like, I need to read that shit. So yes, I really liked Jane Eyre. My favorite nonfiction writer, or one of them, is Anne Lamott, who she's written a lot of memoirs. Traveling Mercies is one of my favorite. Bird by Bird is a book on writing, which is really good. And then let's circle to one of my favorite poets is Rainer Maria Rilke, and he wrote Letters to a Young Poet, which is really not a book, it's just a series of letters. But I think if you're a creative person, or if you just want to think about, like, what is the purpose of your life, I guess, it's a really good book about passion and where it comes from and how to, like, attack things, creative things especially, though. And I love him very, very much. And I think I should stop talking now, because I can literally talk about, like, my favorite books. I really could. Oh, I just read a romance called The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics and Friends. If you are looking for that lovely Regency, well, I guess technically it's not Regency era. It's like early 1800s, but is that still the Regency era? Nah. Anyway, you got ladies loving ladies, and, like, having purpose in life and cuteness and lots of consent, and I loved it a lot. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
So, if you need any book recommendations, go to Cass.
Sometimes I do get questions on my blog where people are like, I want to read a book. I'm like, okay, sweet, read all of these.
Read all of these, come back when you're done.
Exactly, and I'll give you more. I do get sad sometimes because there are all those posts that are like, I read fan fiction because there are no, like, you know, gay books that are good. And I'm like, that's not even true, though, friends. Also, I feel like fan fiction serves a completely different purpose
Oh yeah.
um, than novels. And it's okay not to want to read a novel and to just read fan fiction. Like, I'm not saying that that's not okay. It just makes me sad because I think people don't know there's as much um, choice and as much out there as there actually is. So that's how I feel about that.
I dig it. So, next question. What is some of your favorite hobbies, and a bonus question, a hobby you would love to try?
Sorry.
That was like perfectly timed.
Oh my god. Okay, so my hobbies include writing fan fiction. I think of that as a hobby. Reading, knitting. Or what else do I do? This is always funny because I'm like, I know I have hobbies, but anytime somebody asks me, I'm like, I don't know. What do I do? And in my time, I love watching documentaries. Is that a hobby?
That is. I count it as hobby.
I watch a lot of documentaries. Um, uh, yeah, those are pretty much it. I what I'd like to try, I'd love to be able to draw. I really would. And I try to, so libraries are amazing friends, and my library system offers free online courses. And last year I took a course in romance writing, which was super helpful. And I took a course in editing, also helpful. And I tried to take a course in drawing. And I kind of already knew this before I tried to take that course, but it was definitely a reinforcement of if I want to learn how to draw, I need somebody physically here with me to teach me. Because I just feel like it's not going to happen any other way. Or I have to like physically be in a classroom assigned some time during the week so that I feel like I have homework I should complete. But yeah, that one did not work out so well for me. I'd love to do embroidery, but I don't have the fine motor skills for that in one of my hands. So that is like never gonna happen. But can't think of anything I'd like to try that would be possible. Oh, I also cook and bake. Those are also hobbies. Essential life skills, but also hobbies. I've been trying to up my vegan baking game because I have so many friends who are vegan. And I'm lactose intolerant, so that's also helpful. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I would like to try that I don't know how to do. I'd love to be able to sew, but once again, fine motor skills are a struggle for yours truly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn how to watercolor.
Oh, I bet Salt could teach you.
Everybody, if you're listening, teach me.
Salt.
I just think it'd be really cute because it's just like, that is like the softest, in my opinion, that's like the softest medium of art. And it's like, I would thrive with hackle and watercolor.
Oh my gosh. I would love yes.
That would be amazing. Someone hit me up.
You know what I haven't done in years that I really should go back to is like paint by number. It's always so soothing.
I have an app like that.
I know, I had an app for a while too because I went back home for a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I call it home, but I never want to live there again. And this little boy that I've known since he was like a baby, he's like 8 now. And he was like, hey, you want to play this like app on my iPad? And me having no idea what it is. I'm just like, okay, sure. And he goes, look. And so he gave me, we did it together, which is really cute because all you do, is like tap it with your fingers.
Yeah.
So we were just like passing the iPad back and forth between the two of us. And it was sweet. We colored like some cute girl with like she was drinking something adorable. I don't know. Anyway, I love that kid. Sorry. Moving on.
Let me see here. I already asked that. Favorite original character?
Oh, like of my own?
Yeah,
Uh,
if you want to answer that. Is
yeah, no, I will. There is. Okay, so that I've written into a fic. That I also. I realized because my favorite thing about having people that follow you through fandoms is that they can sometimes pick up on things that you don't realize you do. And I have such a great habit of giving somebody a queer aunt. Like, this is just a thing that I do, apparently.
I love it.
And so my favorite one in uh my Hacklefic has been Ada's aunt Gertrude, who I just like randomly I was like, what sounds like an old lady name?
It's perfect fit.
Yeah, and then I was watching Anne with an E, which is a great series. Anne of Green Gables, also one of my favorite books, and one of my favorite series. And so Diana in that series has an Aunt Josephine, and what they did in Anne with an E is they made Aunt Josephine a lesbian, which great age choice, of course.
Oh my gosh.
And her wife's name's Gertrude. And so I added, so technically not an OC, but she was married to my OC. Took Aunt Jo from Anne with an E, made her a witch, and put her in Let Me Hand You My Love. But yeah, I would say Gertrude Cackle is one of my favorite OCs there. And then of my own work, I have a novel that I've written that needs heavy editing. And I probably couldn't pick between the two of them, but my two protagonists are named Sam and Mari, which is short for Monticello. And they're professors at a university. And they're delightful.
Oh, I ship them.
They're really cute. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, those are so cute. Speaking of that fan fiction, everyone should go read it if they haven't because it's really cute.
It currently holds the record for the longest fan fiction I've ever written. And I tried to stick so many of my favorite tropes in that fic. And I surprised myself with how many I put in there. And it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever written. And, which my favorite fics also have a trend of the titles coming from Fleetwood Mac songs. So there you go.
A good combination.
Yes.
I love it. I have a ton of OCs, like way too many. I have a lot of witch OCs. Like,
ooh, tell me about your favorite.
I have so many, and I don't know if I could pick a favorite because there's just so many.
Yes.
Okay, so fun fact, I still do want, but I'm afraid to do it. I wanted to make my own witch comic.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like a witch school comic. It'd be, like, really adorable. But, the two main characters, it basically starts out, like, them older and, like, them telling their grandchildren how they met. And then it becomes this huge series. So, I don't know, it's a lot. But, like, it's, Aria and, Rena. Her whole name's Marina. But anyway, okay, hold on. I have pictures.
You show me a picture, I can't wait.
Hold on.
It
I need to
might
find
be
them.
Everybody, because they're probably just...
Everybody look. Everybody look at my OCs that I never show anybody. Okay, so they're really cute. I haven't finished them.
Oh my
But
God.
like, I think, like, I imagine her to be, like, horrible at magic sometimes, and, like, she turns, like, a bouquet into snakes, but she loves it anyway. And, like, I have them as older, and...
Oh my God, I want to write fic for your OCs. This is so cute.
They really are. They're really cute. So it's just, like, this is her family, and, like, her grandmother actually runs the school that they go to. And, her magic, like their magic is like so strong that like it's like connected emotionally. So,
Ooh, I like that.
that's why I love it, because it's just like she's not supposed to feel like a lot of emotions or whatever, or like try to keep them down or whatever. But when she like starts like having a crush on Rena, it's when like most explosive stuff usually happens, is like trying to save her or like stuff like that. It's like really cute. And like I have like teachers that are based on my friends. Like almost everybody's gay.
Yes.
It's amazing. I love them so much. But yeah, I'm excited. I love them so much. They're really cute. I could talk about them forever, but I feel like that'd make the video way too long. But I'm really excited.
This is why I was like, we might need to do this in 2 sessions.
It's probably best. Also, like the way I'm doing it now is probably even better that I'm doing it in parts. So it won't be like an hour episode. It'll probably be like 20 minutes per episode, hopefully.
Ooh.
But yeah, those are my OCs. I have more. I have a ton more. Oh, I should just show you all my OCs now. Oh, where are they? I need to find them. There's one OC that I made, and she's beautiful, and I love her forever. It's gonna take some time.
Oh gosh.
It's like loading so slowly.
I love her. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I love her wand so much.
She would be perfect for my novel. Oh my gosh.
She's so sweet.
She would straight up be perfect for my novel. This is so. We can't talk about this too much.
We'll talk about this. It doesn't have to record, but we should talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it in a different context because oh my gosh.
But yeah, I have so many witches. It's so sad.
I love witchy stuff.
And monsters. I have a really cute werewolf and vampire OC, and they're married and adorable.
Oh, that's so cute.
And they have like a scruffy little child that always gets into trouble, and I'm just like, oh, I love them so much. I have a problem. It's like I make all my OCs are like surrounded in like some kind of fantasy magical realm, and I'm just like, here we are. Forever and always.
I'm also in love with this kiss. Oh my gosh, I can't get over how much I love it.
This is adorable. I'm glad whoever suggested it. I didn't write the names because I'm...
Oh.
Who did it? Well, now I'm curious.
Was it me?
It might have been you. I know one of them was you. One of the Hackle ones was you.
Did I ask for this one? I feel like maybe I did.
You might have. If you did, good choice.
If I didn't, whoever did, awesome choice.
Yes, awesome choice. Like, I think all of them are pretty awesome. The only one I'm having issues with is, I don't know how to draw Madam Satan. Or Lilith from Chilling Adventures with Sabrina.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm like, I'll get it eventually, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure you will. I have great faith in you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's true. Any other favorite questions?
Yeah. I mean, there's still a ton left.
Okay.
All-time favorite character.
God, like just period?
I guess. Period.
Oh,
favorite character ever.
My favorite character?
I know. It's a hard decision.
That is a really hard decision.
I thought about it like forever.
I feel like I'd have to do that one in tears too, right?
I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
I would have to because okay, so my favorite character that I've ever been like introduced to and watched the journey of. Oh geez, I can't even. That's hard.
Yeah, there's some pretty hard questions.
Oh my god. Ugh. I have to say. So this reminds me of a conversation that I had with my wife where we found that the cool thing in our relationship in the beginning was we both watch things and feel a whole bunch about them, which is why it always shocks me that fandom is not a thing my wife wants to do. because she is very much like she has the energy of somebody who's in fandom, but she's just like not all about it. But anyway, she likes to do this thing where she'll ask like who like which character you are in a thing. And I feel like because it took so long before I saw a character who looked like me, I'm super not used to doing that in terms of a visual media.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like when people ask me who my favorite characters are, sometimes it's really hard to answer because I was 16 when the L Word came out. And for the first time ever, you had Bette Porter, who was, and I knew Jennifer Beals because, like the actress, because I'd seen her in other things. And so for the first time I saw a biracial, like, lesbian person, and I was like, oh my god, like, I could exist. Like, that's the thing. Except she's real light-skinned, and I'm real not. And, like, Jennifer Beals could pass for white. But I'm like, it took till I was 16 to see that character. And then the only character I've ever seen on TV who very much feels like a representation of who I am as a person, as a mother, and as a wife is Dr. Lena Adams Foster from The Fosters, which is a ridiculous show full of so much teen angst and drama. But the moms I always really liked in that show, and Lena was one of them. And that show came out when I think I was 25, and so I'm just like, that's a lot of life to be lived before you see somebody who looks like you on TV. Oh. So I would say it's just hard for me to pick a favorite character because I feel like it has to be somebody who connects to my soul if I'm going to tell you what my all-time favorite character is, and that's like a really long time to have characters like that, so it's always hard to answer.
Whoa. This just went way deeper than what I thought it was gonna go.
I'm sorry, that's just who I am. I just like overthink.
Oh, never apologize. But I love the way you think.
Oh, but here's the thing. I will take it back to this, right? So, one of my favorite, because I always feel like everyone's favorite, or not everyone, a lot of people's favorite sitcom is Friends. And a little history lesson, my dears. Friends came out after Living Single. Living Single is one of the best sitcoms I've ever watched. And the producers of Friends watched Living Single, took their concept, but instead of a cast, which in Living Single they're all black, so instead of a cast that is all people of color, they took it and made it all white, and they made the ratio of men to women even, as opposed to in Living Single when you get 4 women and 2 men instead of 3 women and 3 men. And I would argue that the friendship dynamic and the issues and just like pretty much the humor of Living Single is far superior to Friends. And I bring Living Single up because Khadijah James, played by Queen Latifah, who I've loved my whole life, is one of my favorite characters ever. But I could say the same about Sinclair, which is her cousin in that show, and Regine, who's their friend that they live with, and Maxine, who lives across in a different building, but she's always in their apartment eating their food. It's like a whole thing. So yeah, I would say, like, if you're gonna ask my favorite sitcom, Living Single is like 100% it. Followed very closely, almost tied with A Different World, which is a great show, and all of you should watch it. It's streaming on Prime, Netflix, one of those. It's good. And Whitley Gilbert, played by Jasmine Guy, who I've also loved my whole life and is amazing and talented, is one of my favorite characters. Because for the first time, I was young when I wasn't even born when it came, out as a series, I think. Or maybe I was 1. But Whitley Gilbert is a very privileged Southern, belle of a girl and of a woman. And it was the first time I saw, a brown woman who was sort of a debutante from the South. And I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like all my friends. So Anyway, I love her. And then her roommate Kim was amazing. Freddie, who was also biracial and is played by what is her name? Oh my gosh, I forget the actress's name. But if any of you have ever seen Rugrats and remember Susie Carmichael, she's the voice actress for Susie Carmichael.
Holy. Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, she's a voice actress for a lot of people. Like she did A Different Worlds and then became a voice actress. So she has voiced like probably so many of everyone's favorite cartoon characters.
I love that.
She's also on a podcast with Amanda Seales, who I adore. It's Amanda Seales' podcast called Small Doses. And the one that she was on was Small Doses Side Effects of Being Black in Hollywood, I think. And she talked about the like voice acting and how it's very white, even if you have cartoons that are diverse. So anyway, sorry, that's also really, I go really deep. So yeah, I love Regina Mills from Once Upon a Time a lot.
Yes, yes.
It's one of my favorite characters to have ever existed. I love everyone on Parks and Recreation.
Oh, same. That's a good show.
There's a show from the early 2000s called Joan of Arcadia that I love. It was about a girl who heard God, and God would show up in all these different characters. Little Girl God probably being one of my favorites. It's a great show, and it's probably, you'd have to get it from like the library because it's only on DVDs. It's not streaming anywhere. But that show's full of characters that I love. CJ Craig from The West Wing is one of my favorite characters. Oh, yeah. Peggy Carter. Now I'm like, what characters have I written? Because they're all my favorite. Peggy Carter, Angie Martinelli. Oh my gosh. How am I forgetting everyone I've ever written? Patty Tolan, all the Ghostbusters women. Patty especially, though. I wrote a lot about Patty Tolan. B'Elanna Torres from Voyager. 7 of 9 from Voyager. I always feel like when I write a ship, sometimes there's like one character that I identify with. And then there's that one thing that's like the character you project onto and the character you're attracted to. And I don't know that that's necessarily always a given for me. But I usually feel some kinship with somebody. I definitely feel a lot for Ada Cackle. And I feel like we are similar in a lot of respects. She's one of my favorites. President Laura Roslin from Battlestar Galactica. One of my favorite women I've ever seen on television. Ever in my life. Okay, I'm done now. You should stop me from talking this way.
Listen, I cannot stop you from talking, because anytime you're talking, I'm just like, wow. I'm like that. Oh, I need to add that stupid meme in here. I'll add it. I promise. It's that stupid one where that one guy is talking and the other guy's on the floor and he's just like staring like, yes, go on. That's me whenever you talk. I'm just like, oh, tell me everything. I love hearing you talk about anything.
Oh my gosh. I will say, if you want to turn on the TV and see somebody who definitely sounds like me, like on a daily basis, and looks a little bit like me, but she's much shorter, Dr. Miranda Bailey from Grey's Anatomy.
She is my favorite on that show.
Oh my god. Honestly, there's a phrase that she has because there's that episode where you see when she's got like the poetic justice, like Janet Jackson braids, because she's a younger doctor.
Yes.
I can't remember what season it's from, but she has a phrase that she says, like that younger Bailey says, that I said all the time in college, in graduate school, and I can't even think about what it is now, but I remember watching that episode and going, holy shit, Bailey is me, which I thought for the longest time, but I was just like, it's really weird to hear like your own words out of somebody's mouth and be like, oh god, we are the same person.
Oh, man. Okay, so everyone out of that show has, like, disappointed me except for her.
Right?
I love her so much. Oh, man. I feel like I need to watch it now because I just love her so much.
Love her too. I tried to quit. Can I tell you? I tried to quit Grey's Anatomy. I did. And I successfully did for like 2 or 3 years. But then my wife and I moved in together. And before we were married, and we only had, well, we had two TVs, one in the living room, and we had a guest room. But for the most part, we watched the TV in the living room because that's the one that had Netflix, and Hulu because we didn't have cable for the longest. And so, like, sharing only one TV, it was hard, like, not to watch it because we'd have to watch it together.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to spend a lot of time together because we were both busy. We had very, like, I worked long hours. I was a community social worker, and I was out, like, all hours of the night. It was hard. But, so I'd be like, geez, I guess I'm gonna suffer through this show just to spend time together. But I had to, like, come back to Grey's Anatomy, and it was so ridiculous because I'm like, I'm so over this fucking show. But I'm still watching it, friend. Still watching it.
I need to get back into watching it. I, like, left during a super devastating part, and I was like, you know what? I've had enough of this stupid show. It's like, I quit. And then my friends are like, come back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, I don't want to come back. Please don't make me come back. But I'm probably going to go back.
I was going to quit again. Okay, so here's the other thing. I was going to quit again. I was so ready to quit again. And then they introduced Maggie Pierce, which is Meredith's half-sister, who was born, she's Richard and Alice's biological daughter. Oh. And it was crazy because I was like, you're going to give Meredith another sister? Also, you're going to give Richard a kid finally? After he and his wife tried for so long to have a kid and were never successful?
Oh, man, that show. I swear.
Devastating.
If you want to watch a dramatic show to just ruin your soul, that's the one.
Talk about angst.
Oh, man, God. Angst. I get so mad at that show. I'm mad right now. I'm mad about thinking.
I think the funny thing is I've watched it for so long that now I've just moved into, I'm going to accept that this is ridiculous and I hate it. It frees you, really.
That's when you know you're free. When you just say, it's stupid, but I'm here.
Right. I'm literally just here for my wife.
Oh, I love that.
So, yeah.
Oh, and you have other comments from other stuff you said. I don't get why people think Friends is that great. I'm just going to go out and say that. I don't think it's great.
Friends. Oh, yeah. I don't, honestly, the thing is I seriously, anybody who loved Friends, I do highly encourage you to watch Living Single because the thing is I feel like Friends, at least the episodes that I saw, because I refused to watch the entire series because I was like, Living Single is superior and I'm not going to do this. But I have seen a few episodes. I did give it a few episodes, just so everyone knows. But Friends, I felt like operated on, I don't feel, honestly, I'll tell you this, I don't feel like they were all truly friends. Like, I didn't really feel the camaraderie.
Yeah, I didn't either.
As much as you do in Living Single. And I think what Living Single does the best, and what was one of my favorite things, and it'll get me to love any show when you do this well, is when you have men and women who have authentic platonic friendships that you're invested in.
That's my jam.
And yeah, Living Single did that so well because they really truly were all friends. Like there's a couple, well there's two couples, one that kind of surprises you and one that's a little bit there from the beginning. But even with the couples, it doesn't alienate the rest of Friends. And I really appreciate and enjoy that.
I dig it. I mean, I am kind of biased because I will literally think anything's better than Friends. Everyone's probably like, oh my god, why are you going so hard after Friends? I hate it.
I mean, like, no shade. If you like Friends, like, go on ahead. But I don't.
If you like it, that's great for you. But just
Exactly.
know I hate it. I will not watch it. It is... Oh, I was about to be mean. I don't want to be mean. Never mind. I will just say that we are not on good terms.
Oh my god.